Hello, everybody. We are here on the free to play. Um, so we're in the middle of Clan v Clan, right? Right now, my clan is losing. We are slowly gaining ground, but this 400,000 gap has been pretty consistent. But I do want to take a look at the free to play accounts. We're only putting up 35,848. We're only in the first day. We still have a lot more time to be generating points. I think what happened last time, I bet you I got an energy boost last time. Where's my daily login rewards? No, not quite. Or maybe the math doesn't line up, but um I did get a bunch of books I haven't used. Now that I think, or at least one book. I will get more books. That's what I am thinking in my head. I think we're putting them into Petrifia, but I'm actually going to change my mind and put them into Soulbond Bowyer. Because I could see myself using her in Faction Wars for sure. And that may be sooner rather than later. I may start wanting to get a little bit more progression in Faction Wars. Update on Ultimate Death Knight. We are at level 58. 2 more levels to go. I am going to continue to grind out those levels instead of brewing him up, which I've done on other champions. Like I think I brewed up Ursula. But, we're grinding right now, so I'm okay grinding him up. The one thing I love too is that while grinding him up, I'm also grinding up my food. So you can see I already have a 5-star ready to go for my next champion that we want to level up. Um, so what to talk about? So let's first of all talk about Clan v Clan. This is more so for newer. I almost said customers, but that's not the right word. For newer viewers to the channel. So, um, this is the Clan v Clan is the whole reason I started this this channel was to get a better understanding of what it's like to be a free to play player, um, going for Clan v Clan. Um, and as you can see, things are, I put up reasonable numbers. I mean, respectable numbers. I've hit my clan minimum very, very quickly. So, as have many members of the clan already. So that's looking good. That's actually why we're probably pretty close. You can see they have some pretty big hitters, whereas, you know, this is my main account right here. I'm not hitting as hard as I may usually. They also may have opened their Timmets if they went for the fusion. I'm holding on to mine. One to see. Well, I'm on the wrong account to show you, but I do have Timmet ready to fuse. I can also fuse Tatsu. But I am waiting to fuse those champions right now. Um, Sorry, I wanted to. So I'm waiting to fuse on my main account those champions to see if we're gonna win the Clan v Clan or wait until another personal rewards where it's a little closer and we need that kick to get over the edge. Um, so not gonna pull that trigger if we can't catch up to them. But let's focus on the free to play here. So um, doing those points. Oh, we did get that's what I wanted to talk about. Missions. Okay. So we got that mission done. I had to spend a few gems because I was impatient, but I managed to squeeze out the 700 tokens I needed to get level 7 on the accuracy here. Um, and that freed up missions, which I then completed throughout the day. And now I am hard stuck here on stage 14 of Spirit Keep, which opens on Thursday. So that will open up in a day, 21 hours. That's when this opens up. And then we'll be able to continue the rate of missions until our next hard stuck point. So it'll probably be one day, like a day at a time while we wait for those keeps to open up. And then probably get stuck here. After a couple of days, we'll get stuck here at the bonus affinity or the affinity bonus to level 8, which we'll be waiting for another probably 2 weeks, maybe more, um, to upgrade. So that's where we are on missions. I still haven't done any of these challenges that I keep saying, like, oh, I'm going to take the time to do. These Upgrade 3. Yeah. See, this one I don't want to do because I need those resources for the missions, but I kind of want to do it because I want this book because it's a lot of clan v clan points. So there's like a give and take there. A little bit of selfishness there for me. But I'm not gonna do it. I won't be too greedy there. I do want to talk about some of the news that's come down. So we have this Singles Day celebrations. Long story short, you can get 4 of the characters needed to fuse Loquain. That's why I was taking a look at him. So I believe he's a high elf. Am I wrong? Is he not a high elf? Dark elf? Oh no, he's a Sylvan Watcher. Yeah. Okay. Buff steal on the A1. Uh okay, so a buff remove on the A2 can remove, I guess, 2 buffs if they also like he can either remove Veil or Perfect Veil and another buff, or he can just remove 1 buff. Um Kind of a niche ability there. Kind of strange ability a little bit, but maybe that'll come in handy someday. And then attacks one enemy 2 times, will ignore shield buffs, resets the cooldown of this skill if this attack kills an enemy. This is actually kind of an interesting ability. It really feels geared kind of towards PvP. You have your anti-Duchess here. You've got your assuming the multipliers are good, you've got your big nuke on a target, and then you can keep going. If you kill the enemy, and then this increases the champion's accuracy for each by 10 for each buff on each enemy. So interesting kit. I don't know that this is one without looking at the multipliers. I don't know if this is one that would be like, you know, all in on or anything like that. However, similarly to what we were talking about with the champion we currently have, for High Elf here, if you were to get Loquain, you would level him up to 50 and fully ascend him, and then probably just leave him there unless he's a champion that you really want. Like if I could see him being viable in PvP maybe, but I don't really know. He also had an aura. What was the aura? Yeah, speed in arena by 20. If the multipliers are good, I could see him being somewhat decent. But when I say just a moment for some of the new players, when I say multiplayer, or multipliers, as I pull this up, which seems to be taking longer than normal. So when I'm saying multipliers, um, I'm talking about the percentage, the how much times their attack. Um, so I can't really give you an example because that's hellhades.com that I just used. I can't give you an example because they changed their website a little bit, but you used to be able to gauge how much a champion would do via their why multipliers? I don't know why I'm saying it so weird. Okay, so basically, it's that multiplier times their attack. If they're an attack-based champion or a defense-based champion, it would be multiplied by their defense. Whatever stat is the one that does the damage. So it's if you have a champion that has a ton of base attack and they're built to be a strong nuker, if they have weak multipliers, then you don't get that quality impact damage. And I don't really know on the A2 there, a 3.8 multiplier. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know off of like just the top of my head what multipliers are necessarily good or not. Um it's kind of hard to compare. Now his overall rating is a 3 star. They used to have like ratings like legendary, godlike, normal, like stuff like that that would give you a better sense of like, oh, is this a good multiplier or not? I am gonna look at my nuker. Actually, let's look at Genbo. So we know Genbo's a good nuker, and he's an epic. He's a void epic, so not necessarily apples to apples, but it gives me an idea. So he gets a 4 times on his A2 versus the 3.5 times on Loquain, but I think Loquain has a lot less attack to start with. So so we were at 900 something. What is Genbo at? Yeah, far less attack. So why does that matter? So it matters because it's easier with percentage based stuff. You've got this baseline that's gonna build up a bigger value, and then multiply it by a bigger amount. You're multiplying it by 4 times instead of 3.5 times, and it's easier to get a bigger value, therefore causing Genbo to hit harder. You also have other things that make, because this is not an apples to apples comparison. But you have other things like he brings his own crit rate, also and he gives himself more crit damage, things like that. Um, so yeah, it's not an apples to apples comparison, but he is a good PvP nuker. So Lo Quain might be a decent, like he would be. I feel safe to say that he would probably be an upgrade over my Kale right now in PvP. Um, so but either way, my point is that it's not a champion that I would put a lot of resources into in 6 star. They might be a decent enough champion for faction wars, and you want to 5 star and ascend them anyways for the fusion that you would hopefully be able to achieve at some point in the future. So it doesn't hurt to put some resources into them. Same thing. Why I'm gonna put a 5 star ascension for Andalia, who I don't think is necessarily a great champion, but um, could be useful while waiting to do the fusion for Tatsu in their case. Because you can see here, this is where she is right here. Eventually would be used to fuse Tatsu. So why am I talking about Loquain? Right now, there will be events that I'm not going to be going for on either account to get the champions that you would use um, to fuse Loquain. So it's an interesting event. The reason I'm not going for them is, one, they're behind tournaments, which are somewhat difficult for my account to achieve, and they're also turn attack tournaments. I'm not necessarily in a position to have very fast teams that take minimal amount of turns, which would mean that I would have to just do a lot of dungeons. If I had like some set teams built or some more efficient teams built, this is something that I could go after perhaps, but the rewards versus the commitment for me and where I'm at on my account aren't worth it. I'm not saying that that's the same for you. I'm just saying that it's not for me with where I'm at on the account right now. Um, but it would get you one step closer to that potential fusion, um, which is a pretty big deal if I'm being honest, because to be able to fuse this mythical champion is a big deal, and who knows, maybe in a couple months from now I'm going to be sitting here kicking myself because I can't pull a Loquain to save my life, but I have all the other pieces of the fusion or something like that, right? So It is what it is. But um, I feel like there was something else. Make sure you guys remember to pick up your clan quests. I totally forgot. I've been playing all day and didn't pick up any clan quests, so my progress in them is pretty low, which I feel bad about. You definitely want to pick those up when you can. Oh, really cool news that I'm super excited about. My clan did rank up to clan tier 2 for this clan v clan tournament. So that gives us access to some better rewards right out the gate. So as long as my clan can hit 1.8 million, which we should hit, we're already at almost 1.2. I'm going to get a whole bunch more clan gold, get 2 more epic skill tomes, and a couple of more 4-star chickens and an ancient shard. So I'm excited about that. But the biggest thing I'm excited about was getting these extra demon lord keys. So with those, my clan has managed on clan boss to kill Ultra Nightmare, Nightmare, and Brutal. And I have put my 2 extra keys into Brutal, so I'll be able to get some extra resources. The thought crossed my mind to put them into Ultra Nightmare, but the jump from Nightmare to Ultra Nightmare is so huge that I probably would have only been able to do like 4 or 5 million, and that's not going to be anywhere near enough to get this mythical chest. So they just would have been wasted. So at the very least, I do Brutal, and I can get this Grandmaster chest, um, and be pretty happy about it. I didn't realize these were all their own chests. So like mythical doesn't track back to any of these older chests, not even like nightmare or brutal. It's just their all own individual chests, and they all kind of stink unless really the transcendent one is the only one worthwhile because that's where you get the sacreds and the legendary books. So I'm going to use that brutal key here just so I can get the maximum rewards for myself during the clan B clan here. Um, I might try and reattempt Spider with UDK. And see if I can counter the poisons enough with my big shields that I hope to get out of UDK. Once I get him fully kind of kitted and geared up, I am going to ascend him. I could probably do it now. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything to ascend him now. And I want to make sure I remember to do it during the CBC because you do get points for ascending champions, as you saw there. There's 100 points there. You know, you want to be doing your best to contribute as much as you can to your clan during a clan v clan. I don't know if I can make. I can. One thing, I don't know if this is like a tip or not, but one thing I would recommend doing that I'm pretty bad about is like I had a tendency to like let's say I needed 4 of the superiors here, right, to get this maximum stage here. I had a tendency to just like what is it, not fusion, what's it called? Mix. I had a tendency to mix like all 13 of these, right? So I'd do this and I get 13. Um and just like oh yeah, well I want them all, you know. And then I go back and I'm like, "Oh crap, I've got so many of the superiors, but I don't have any of the graders." You know? So, I recommend, only mixing the amount that you need, and saving the rest for the next time that you need it. All right, so we've got. Shoot, did I screw up? I bet you I screwed up. Watch this. We go to missions. Nope. Okay, it's just mixing the potions, um, which is mixing them, not necessarily, using them on a or ascending a champion with them, so we're okay. I do regret. I'm probably gonna regret mixing 10 superior force potions. I bet you I can only make 2 right now, but um, we have to run more force dungeon in order to for that mission by the time we get there anyway. So hopefully I'll be able to earn more of those resources as we go. Um oh, let me comment real quick on my last video. So thank you all for such positive support. Um um I'm not going anywhere. I hope I didn't mislead you guys and make you think I was quitting. That's not the case. I wanted to be transparent in the fact that I'm not going to respond to toxic or unconstructive criticism. Um it was frustrating for me because they gave me good advice in some of their comments. They just went about it the wrong way, and I don't want to support that kind of toxicity. I want those comments that they gave me, but I want them in a more supportive way, if that makes sense. Um, so that we can keep the positivity up and that I can quote them and not necessarily, I can learn and grow as a as both a content creator and a player in this game, but also not have to feel like a complete idiot. So, I hope that clears things up a little bit. I'm not going anywhere. Keep the comments rolling. Keep the suggestions coming too. I'm very open to those, and this is very opinion based. I don't have the math behind a lot of what I'm saying. Um, a lot of it is based on feeling, based on other stuff that I've learned as from playing the game or researched. Some of it's just stuff that I learned and came up with. Like for example, my Go Second team, there's no video that specifically told me about my Go Second team that's on my main account. It's a team that uses Mortu Macabre and a whole bunch of supports. Um, Nobody told me about that. There's probably a video out there. It's not one that I ever came across. I just realized, like, well, Mortu Macabre needs to take a hit. Okay, well, I'll just try to keep him alive as long as I can. So I put him in stone skin gear, and put a couple champions around him, support champions to keep him alive, and it works. And, he takes a bunch of AOE hits. He gets peril, and then he blows them up one at a time, and they have to get through Pythion, UDK, and Rectordrath, which I would love to replace Rectordrath in that composition. But so, um, yeah, that's pretty much. But no one, I never found that in a video. That was one I came up with, and it's not rocket science, right? But I was like, well, I need a Go Second team. This is a good idea for a Go Second team, I feel like, and that's what I did. So, and it works. But I made a video of it on the channel. It's like probably hidden away somewhere, buried deep under all my other videos at this point. But I was pretty proud of it when I did it. And like I said, I'm sure there's a video out there that's like this is a great Go Second team or whatever. It was just like, for me, I just came up with it, and thought it was fun. But okay, now tomorrow is a very exciting day, mainly because we're gonna get our first chest for Hydra, and it will be a double chest because we cleared normal, so we'll get 2 of these novice chests, which I was telling my clan today, I feel a little guilty. And so I want to clear some stuff up with you guys right now. I am at an advantage over a lot of you on the free-to-play space right now. My advantage comes from the fact that I am in an established guild that is able to clear Nightmare. I got to tell you guys, at this point on my main account, despite spending money in that account, and despite like doing everything I can to progress at day 60, whatever I'm at, this clan was not on Nightmare. I don't even think we were on brutal yet, if I'm being honest. Like, we were very slowly developing as a clan, which can be a hindrance. And as a new player, you may find yourself in clans that they haven't beaten hard yet. And certainly not Nightmare, or you may not have anyone in your clan that can do Nightmare yet, let alone kill it every night and get 2 chests from it. So there is a grain of salt in what I'm suggesting here. This was a point of contention for myself when I started the series, because I thought, am I giving myself too much of an advantage? This advantage is going to be duplicated here with the fact that I'm in a clan that can not only do normal Hydra, but also kill normal Hydra, giving us access to 2 chests. As a free-to-play player with only 7 champions now that are, or no, yeah, 6 champions that are 6 stars. I have the bare minimum right now to do Hydra, and I'm just barely able to squeak out enough damage to get I get 1.84 and I need 1.67. So I'm just barely able to squeeze out that damage. Furthermore, I'm on a pace to get Mithrala much faster than anybody else, because I get 2 chances, or not chances, but I get double the amount of shards or fragments for her that I would have got on my main account back then. Because we didn't have enough people that were even doing Hydra. Like, I was doing Hydra and no one else in the clan was. And I would squeak out this amount of damage, because what's this? Yeah, it's still 1 or 2. I would squeak out this amount of damage and only get 1 chest. Here I am, day 60 on this account, getting 2 chests out of Hydra. So there is some grain of salt about my progression and things that you need to take into consideration. And this is going to have a huge impact. I'm about to get gear. It's called Stone Skin and Protection Gear. We'll go over it tomorrow in depth when I have it in front of me to show you guys. But it's a really, really strong gear, mostly in the arena. And honestly, in general too, because you get extra percent-based stats out of it. So you're going to see me be able to get some extra defense and extra HP out of putting these sets on some of my champions. I don't know. Is there well, we might not win it. We're in 3rd place right now, which I hope sticks for the Hydra Clash. I don't know if there's a minimum. Yeah, I have to do at least 35 million in order to get one of the Hydra Clash chests. So I won't be getting one of those chests, which is fair and good. For me to be able to get Stone Skin accessories that early in the game could be quite unfair. So, normal, hard. Who's doing what? So, in case you guys watched, let me set you guys straight on some stuff here. If you need to find that balance. Yeah, you made a mistake here, friend. I'm gonna point this out. So, Zaragevna used 2 keys on normal, and it could have been an accident, but then they used their 3rd key on brutal. Well, they don't have enough to get the normal chest, because they need 1 point, or no, they did. Did they get enough? No, they have 1.5. They need 1.6 million. So they didn't have enough to get normal, and then they put the rest into brutal, which they're not even close to getting anything that would have benefited them in brutal. So that's a waste of a key. Now, what if that key was used in normal and they were able to get that 1.6 million and get this chest? They would have got 2 chests. This week, Zaragevna gets 0 rewards for Hydra Clan Boss because of that mistake. Now, again, I don't know if it was a mistake. I don't know if they weren't paying attention and accidentally did brutal or what. But, I want to make sure that you guys know to look out for this and not duplicate these mistakes. We also have kill switch. So this is something that you want to be careful of. So kill switch only used one key this week with a full six star team. They're all 60s. Some of them are heavily ascended. Like, this is a solid team. And they used it on brutal, which is the third hardest difficulty in the game, and put up 703,000. So let's rewind this for a second and look at the fact that they did 700,000 on a harder difficulty, a much harder difficulty. That likely could have been 1.6 million on normal, and they'd be getting 2 chests right now from Hydra. But because they did the wrong difficulty, you need to work within your limits. You need to capitalize and make sure you're getting a chest. An important thing about Clan Boss, our Hydra in particular, and I'll show you right now. I'm just going to throw 6 random champions in here. I don't even care about an aura. I'm just doing this as a demonstration to you guys. Boom. Look at this. You hit free regroup. Never happened. I still have 1 key. I'm out. Boom. So if you ever make a mistake, if you go in and you're like, wait, why did I only put up 700,000? I should have done more. Free regroup. Oh man, I was doing brutal. Silly me. Go back into normal and you know, do the difficulty that you should be doing. On the flip side of that, I want to commend a lot of these players that are in here doing normal and using their keys. Why do I commend that? Well, one, those little amount of points still help in Hydra Clash for the clan as a whole. Number 2, you're learning where your account is at. So every time you come in here in Hydra and you wipe, you know, you use 3 keys or you use 2 keys and you don't get enough damage, well, now you know where you're at. And you can sit there and say, okay, what did I need to get a little bit more damage? Okay, I needed a support. All right. And then maybe a week goes by and you don't get a support and you come in and you do the same amount of damage. Okay, I still need a support, but you know what you need. That can change the value of some characters. So what I mean by that, I know this is a longer video by a lot, and I apologize for that. But what I mean by that is upping the value of other characters. So right now, if I was in a position where I didn't have UDK and Ursula, and let's say that I still was able to do 4-key Nightmare even with those out the support champions, that may increase the value of someone like Hofrees or Dur as a reviver, healer, support type champion. Because those are champions that you could use that could get you a little bit further in Hydra, for example. Like saying that my account was in the same situation it is right now, but I was like a few 100,000 short of that chest. These characters then gain value because they have immediate potential for me versus something that I'm going to use in the future. I could use them now and gain that little bit of extra progress in Hydra Clan Boss, for example. So I hope that makes sense. I'm rushing because the video went long and because I'm going to go be doing some other stuff tonight. But thank you guys for all the support. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.